everybody, this is Shamanic Awak Priestess here. How are you guys doing today? And I just felt to do this video. So before I start this video and let you know what the video is about, just a really quick little announcement. So due to higher than usual demand, I have increased my readings, like my work week. I added 10 additional hours, hoping this will help me to catch up, and as well as become a little bit more readily available for those of you that have been booking and noticing there's longer than usual wait periods. Thank you to those who have been patient, and things of that nature. But just to avoid some people that have never worked with me, or are just frustrated, when you go on my website where it says store, when you click on store, it will actually tell you when you're reading the description of the services, all of them state that there's no availability until the middle of May. I have been booked up for the whole month of April. It's been a while now. So if you book, just like if you book today or anything like that in the month of April, whatever, just be aware that there's no availability until the middle of May. That's just something I thought of doing, because even though it's stated throughout my website on the contact area, I'm finding that some people are not reading that and they're becoming frustrated and emailing me. I refunded a couple of people because they were upset, and I'm not going to fight with people. But it just avoids you guys getting upset. It avoids me having to read through those emails, explain, and all that stuff, because everything has always been in the contact area, but some people are not seeing it. I understand that. So now when you got, right before you guys check out now, it's literally in the description box now. So now it's everywhere. It's even when you book every particular service, it tells you how long of a wait period until you actually get an appointment. So currently, as we are speaking, because the extra hours have gone into effect, depending on what reading you're getting, it's most likely going to be the middle of April. So you're going to have about a 3-week or 4-week wait period. Okay, so it's a 3 to 4 week wait period currently. So just be aware of that when you are booking, and things of that nature. So I wanted to put that out there. Please, guys, also, when you get a reading with me, you usually get emailed 4 weeks after you book the reading. Please look out either through your spam folder or your regular email. Leave me a review. I do not edit my reviews. My reviews are honest reviews of my services. So feel free to, rate and everything like that. You should get that through your email. That way you can let people know what you thought about my services. I try to be very transparent, and things of that nature. So feel free to leave a review of my service. I welcome reviews. I think that's it for that. I also went shopping today because I went to get my nails done, with my local manicurist, and near me is the mall. So I went to the mall today, bought some clothes, very excited. I went down a couple of dress sizes, so I was excited to buy clothes because my other clothes are getting loose. So I was excited to buy some spring summer stuff, so that's exciting. Then I went to my local Spanish store and got a couple of candles. So this is like a little checkup video slap. Yeah, I'm slapping. This is oh my God. This is a catch-up video / mini haul / I'm gonna have a spur chat today. So, but yeah, I didn't want to make 2 or 3 separate videos. I really don't have time. I'm trying to record whenever I get a moment now to record, because I really have to catch up on my readings. So I'm only going to be posting videos on a weekly basis. I can't do any more than a video a week, so sorry about that. But I have to give priority also to my clients, but I also want to keep my channel active. So I bought some candles. I bought some saint candles at my local supermarket. These are always like less than $3, and I love burning them because I do work with actual saints and angels and all of that. So yeah, I bought these, and then I bought 3 black candles because I can get black candles at my local Spanish market, which before that wasn't readily available, but I noticed they have all the colors, black and brown and all that. I don't need those colors. I have enough of those, but I wanted to stock up on my black candles because I noticed yesterday when I was doing stuff, I'm running low on them. So every time I go, I try to get a couple of black candles. Okay, so that's it really for my haul that I got. Like I said, very mini haul, spiritual haul. Everything else is like clothes and stuff. I'm not going to show you clothes on here. It's not a fashion channel. And then I got some candy for the spirits. These are honey candies. But today's topic, okay, now we're going to talk about the topic. So I'm doing like a bunch of stuff here. I wanted to talk about something because this situation has recently been something that has really touched me, okay? And the topic is being responsible. So being a responsible professional reader. What does that mean? So just to give a little backstory, I work with everybody. I've read a lot of different people. I've read readers, and I noticed like there was this thing, and I've had to cut some people off. They would literally book a reading with me, have like their own business and everything, which is fine. Readers can book other readers, but let me get to my point here. And they would literally be charging people astronomical fees that I myself wouldn't even charge as someone who's actually initiated into ATRs, and would be asking me how to do spells for certain things they were charging clients for. Like, wait a minute, what? Oh, my client paid me for a love spell, and how do you actually do a love spell? Excuse you? So you're charging somebody to do workings that you don't even know how to do? Oh, I have a client that needs an exorcism, so how do you do an exorcism? So you're charging somebody to take out malevolent spirits, evil spirits, charging them thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, but you don't know how to do that service? Oh, how do you read tarot? Aren't you a tarot reader? You're charging people money, but you're literally telling me you're not even good at tarot? What? So this is why I'm making this video. When you decide to open a shop or whatever, there are certain things you should actually take into account. Because it's one thing to read for yourself. That's on you. That's personal. Once you start charging people, you take on a responsibility, and you are responsible for the information that you're putting forward, right? And there are consequences even for your own self that you want to take into account before you do something like that. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I recently had to block somebody. I'm not going to say who they are. I'm not that type of person. I don't do that. I don't use my platform to shame anybody. I don't use my platform to shame anybody with mental health issues. A lot of people that I know struggle with that. I myself have struggled with my own issues, which I'm not going to get into here because that's personal and medical. Like, we don't need to be talking about that. You can if you want to. I like to keep my stuff private, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't like the shaming that people get when people have struggles with mental health. So that's not what this video is about. However, there is a danger when people start diagnosing people for mental issues, okay, and telling people not to see their doctor, that if you just buy a crystal, your depression will go away. You cannot be doing that. So that's like the things I'm talking about. Like, are you even an ethical person? Because you have no right, I don't care how good of a reader you are, to sit here and tell people that you know have mental health issues. Mental health issues, okay? If you do Reiki, your schizophrenia is gone, your bipolar disorder is gone, your depression is going to be gone, and you're going to be in a high elevation. Or to literally shame people for having mental illness, because I've seen a lot of dangers that people do that. There are people that are like trying to blame the person who's going through the mental, because if you know, the only reason you're having this mental health crisis, you're not meditating enough, you know, you're not lighting them candles. No. Okay? If you're going to be a professional reader, like, make sure you know what you're talking about, because we're not doctors, we're not psychiatrists, we're not mental health. And I'm not saying, like, I've done readings where somebody will ask me like, oh, I want to see Dr. A, B, or C. What did the card say? That's different. should I get my COVID test? And I'll tell them, like, I'm going to get mine, my COVID shot, but I can show you what the energy looks like around that. So you could decide which one you want to go to, whatever. Like, that's different. But I'm not telling people don't go see a psychiatrist. I'm not telling people get off your diabetes medication, because if you frolic into the woods and throw some sunflowers on yourself, diabetes will be gone. Or if you buy this crystal, now you are healed. Like, I do believe in science. I do believe in medicine. I believe in healing the body and the soul and the spirit. I believe in all of it. But I work together. Like, I always, if I feel someone is having a mental health crisis, people that I work with will know. I'll be like, I think you need to talk to your doctor. Maybe they can help you with something. I'm not exactly a doctor, but I'm feeling like I'm seeing some mental health issues coming up, that kind of thing. And then they can go to their doctor and that kind of stuff. If I seen like physical things wrong with people, I'm like, hey, you might need to go to the doctor, because I'm seeing something coming up in the future, like health issues. And they'll go, oh my goodness, you were right. I went to the doctor. I was able to catch something. That's different from I'm sitting here diagnosing you like, yeah, if you drink this tea, like your, cancer, your diabetes, your blood pressure, your migraines. I don't do that, because, that is something that I don't do. I try to be really careful about the things that I say, right? So basically, that's where the first idea comes from. Decide what type of reader you are, okay? And I'm not a medical doctor reader. I can read on certain things, but I like to be very clear and transparent. I always say, like, I'm not a doctor, but this is what the card's saying, that kind of thing. But I'm not going to sit here and ever encourage anyone to get off their medication. That's something that you and your doctor have to talk about, right? So I know what my boundaries are. I am a reader with a high code of ethics, in my personal opinion, when it comes to certain areas. Am I an academic reader? Am I a reader that kind of more goes into the thought process of, I don't see tarot as magical, and I see it more as, studying it, historical guidance per se, that kind of thing, more from a logical perspective? Or are you more of a counseling reader? Are you someone who kind of wants to offer services that are more supportive? I do offer those types of services. I am not someone that sees tarot as academic or logical. I do see that it could be like good for counseling, but I also see it the most as a magical tool, a tool that helps you to get to the other side. I feel like my decks are dedicated to certain deities or spirit beings that I work with. And so I'm looking at it more from a mediumship perspective, a channeling perspective, that type of thing. And so when it comes to that area, when we're talking about mediumship, when we're talking about making direct contact with the other side, and yes, I don't need cards to do that. I can do that just myself. But I do like using cards when I'm reading clients to do that. We have to be careful. We have to learn how to open up a session, how to close a session, and protection work, because this is where all those tarot readers to Jesus videos come from. A lot of people dabbling into things and deities they don't know anything about, playing with Ouija boards. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, like, when you're doing certain things, do you know what you're doing? Because you can actually call in something really negative, and then you'll have people going back to Christianity. Oh, all those things are satanic, when they were doing things without understanding what they were actually doing, right? The research wasn't being done. So figuring out what kind of reader you are and what kind of boundaries. I don't mess with Ouija boards. I do channel spirits, but I was born into this life. I've been in this life, so I do know what I'm doing. Yes, I've made mistakes, but for the most part, I know what I'm doing. I've had the proper mentors, teachers, and training. Number 2, if you are psychic, are you practicing safety measures, which kind of relates to the first thing I was talking about. 1, are you closing and opening a session? I mentioned that previously. Okay, are you protecting your energy? Okay, are you protecting your energy of your loved ones, so your home and your clients? This is why I do read 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, but I do take, because I work Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week reading, but I also work Saturdays doing spiritual things, not reading people, but other things, rituals, that kind of thing, cleansings, for people, right? But Sunday is the one day that I take off. Why? Because that's part of protection. Everybody needs to practice self-care, taking care of themselves, having that boundary, because I know that if I work 7 days a week and I don't take a break, I'm not going to be as connected to you, right? I know how many hours a day I can work and still be accurate. And that's the important thing. Like, do you want it fast or you want quality, right? And so I know what I can ethically do and still provide a good service versus just giving somebody a sloppy reading. They wasted their time, they wasted their money, and it was inaccurate and it's garbage, right? So, um, that's part of protecting myself, right? Also protecting myself when it comes to if someone has a negative energy, cleansing myself between readings. That's why I allow like a 10-minute break between readings so I can properly cleanse myself between clients. Some people come with very negative energies or they have spirits with them, and I have to make sure that I'm not bringing that negativity into the next session. Okay, so on and so forth. Or maybe the reading was very high vibrational and draining. I could kind of ground myself, drink water, that kind of thing, replenish myself, so on and so forth. Protecting my family. Okay, when I'm reading, I have my own separate space that I read outside of the children, because again, somebody could be coming with negative energy. I don't want my children exposed to it, or that energy being attracted to my children. Okay, that goes for my home. I spiritually cleanse my home, whether that's burning Palo Santo, floor washes, spraying Florida water, or any of the other spiritual sprays that I have, and that type of thing. Keeping the energies around me cleansed. My working altar, my client altar, my reading space, my shrines to my spirits, all of that is part of protecting my home. Do I have wards and things like that to keep away malicious spirits? You know what I mean? So all those wonderful things are very, very important, okay? And making sure that I'm in a good vibration so I'm not harming you. Am I connected? Am I going to be able to give this great reading? That's all part of protection, okay? Because I've seen people actually attacked to very dark energies. It's happened to me, especially when I used to work on the psychic hotline. I literally had one time, which I'm going to get into in my next paranormal video, which will be coming out soon. Somebody throw something at me through a reading. Okay, so not even clients or people that come to you are always coming to you with the best of intentions. I also don't want to give you anything. Or some people really just are being tormented by spirits. It's not their fault, and those spirits could try to hurt you because you're trying to help somebody. So I've seen a lot, guys. I also, like I said, the person, going back to what I was talking about, that I recently blocked, I had a reading with them, and I said, hey, be careful, because I'm picking up in the reading and by my guides, you're the type of person that kind of likes to channel things, but they're saying something's gonna come through one day and it's gonna be bad consequence. Like, there's a very dark force that's trying to pretty much come into you. So be careful. Person didn't regard anything, didn't listen to me. I know what I'm doing. I'm born into this. I'm chosen. I was like, yeah, but I feel like you should get a mentor. Like I can work with you, or you can get somebody else, because it doesn't always have to be me. And they didn't listen to me. I know everything. I was born knowing I'm chosen. Basically, like, I'm the one. And contacted me, and now they're literally being tormented by the spirit. The spirit has actually taken over this person, where the spirit is dumb, and that's all I'm gonna say. So, and it's really scary, but because the energy is so malicious, and because they don't want help, and I feel like the person isn't even that person anymore. Like, I feel like whatever this force is, well, I know what it is, but I don't want to get into all that on YouTube, has actually taken over the person. So I don't want to put my children at risk, myself, that kind of thing, because, in order to take out a spirit, you need consent from the actual host. And I just feel like the host is really not around anymore. I feel like this thing has taken over them. And they were a professional reader with a business and everything. So this can happen to anybody. Like, really be careful what you're doing. Like, I do paranormal investigations, exorcisms, all of that. And I've seen, there's nothing that nobody could tell me that I'm going to be phased from, to be honest, because I've seen it all, pretty much. So this is why I wanted to make this video, because I just want you guys to, protection is the most important thing you could ever learn. I always say that. So not only could you ruin your life, now this person's still reading people with that spirit. So now they're causing ruin to other people. So just think about that. If you're predicting, can you actually do what you say? So you don't have to necessarily be a fortune teller or psychic to do tarot. You can literally say, I'm an intuitive reader. Or you can say, I don't predict. Like, I don't know how to do it, or that's something that doesn't sit right with me, or I don't believe it, or whatever the case may be. As long as you're advertising that, like, these are the readings I don't do, like, that's up to the person if they didn't read it, you know? That's how I feel. However, if you're saying that you can do something, oh, I can, I'm psychic or whatever, and you're really not, and you don't know what you're doing, you can ruin people's lives. So always make sure that you're honest about what you can actually do. You have people that, like the person I'm going to tell you, oh, I'm a Reiki master, never learned how to do Reiki. Literally invented their own Reiki, literally invented their own way of mediumship, like literally were just inventing things as they went, claiming to have all these titles, and now they're like literally, it's a really bad situation. So be sure that you actually know that you can do certain things before you advertise yourself, because at the end of the day, it's a person's life. It's people's lives, and not just that person, it's the people attached to these people. So nobody's saying you have to be perfect. Nobody says everybody's 100% accurate all the time. That's not what I'm saying, all right? 99.98 or whatever, that's good enough. But I'm saying be sure you can actually do the things. Like, I remember when I worked in the psychic hotline, a lot of these readers said they could do all these things and they could not do any of the things they said, okay? I could help you find missing items. I only advertise things I know I can do, and that's it. And if people want to go with you, they go with you. If they don't, they don't. What's meant for you is meant for you. So don't ever feel like you have to lie or embellish just to get a clientele, because there's a reader for everybody and there's different needs. Some people like just people that just give counseling or look at it more of a logistic or logical way, and some people like fortune telling. So there's different things for different people. So that also goes with point 4, which is are you being honest? Because, and what I mean by that is, so let's say you are doing a predictive reading. This really goes for that. And you're telling somebody what they want to hear versus what they need to hear, or versus what you're really seeing. When they see that doesn't happen, you just lost a client, okay? It's one thing to see something and things can happen because of free will, and it's another thing to purposefully mislead somebody. And I saw this a lot in the psychic hotline. Like, I've had other readers, oh, why are you telling her that, her partner isn't going to come back? Or are you telling them their partner's not going to come back? Just tell them they are. And I said, but I told them they are. But I told them this person's going to come back, but they're going to keep cheating on you, or they're going to keep doing this. I see you kind of breaking up with them. Like, you're not going to be happy with this person. Why you said that? You should have just said they were coming back. It's because you could get more money like that. And I'm like, that's evil, because I'm seeing the person leaving again. I'm seeing this being not a good thing. Yeah, leave out the not good thing. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Tell them what you want to hear. And those will be the same people that after a while, nobody will book them. They will be on free chat all the time because they were purposely using their gift, knowing what they saw, to mislead people in order to get a payout. And that's disgusting. I'd rather have somebody upset with me, because for every one person that's like, I'm never going to read with you because I don't like that, even though it's what I'm actually seeing, 9 times out of 10, they always come back and become a loyal client. And for that one person that leaves for a while, you get 3 or 4, because the universe is going to pay you back for the good intentions you put out. That's just the way it is. Okay. Number 5, lack of knowledge. So if you lack knowledge in things that you're claiming to do, it can literally ruin the lives of people. So even if you have a natural psychic ability or whatever the case may be, I still like to study the form of divination that I do, because I feel like with the knowledge tied in with the psychic abilities, it just enhances your gifts. And are you enhancing your psychic abilities? Are you practicing? Are you really putting forth things? Because I always tell people I'm not a master of anything. Every day I'm constantly trying to better my craft and better my skills, okay? Have you actually set boundaries, okay? So what are the things that you are willing to read on, and what are your deal breakers? One of mine, like I said, I'm not a doctor. So even though I would kind of read certain things, there are certain things about medical things I'm not going to read on. And I'm not going to literally tell you, hey, stop taking your psych meds and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. I don't like reading on death. when somebody's gonna die or whatever. I don't like doing that. I don't read not lottery numbers. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? I'm also not gonna tell you what you want to hear. And also, you can be a parent and I'll read on your child, but I don't really like reading directly someone who is under the age of 18, because I just feel like that's something that's not comfortable for me. I also don't like reading couples in the same reading. If it's like money. Sorry about that. There's a lot going on right now, so I'm not editing it. We're just going to keep going with it. Okay. So we talked about boundaries, and what are you willing to read on? What are you not willing to read on? That's a question you should ask yourself. And like I said, I also have set boundaries. Number 7 is, as a reader, when you go professional or thinking about going professional, one thing you should also keep in mind is self-care. And I've kind of talked about that in the beginning of the video. What's going to be your hours of operations? I recommend at least taking one day off to yourself, for yourself and family. Are you giving everything to your clients? That is something that I've done in the past a lot, giving to the point of exhaustion and depletion, which actually caused migraines and health issues for my person. And not gonna lie, like I'm still like, I get depleted even now. And that's when I have to tell people like, hey, I'm sorry you have to wait a certain amount of time, but I literally, it's not like I'm sitting around doing nothing. Like, I'm literally working and reading people. It's just depending on the volume of people that book readings, depending how long you're gonna wait. And I had to learn that that's nothing I can control. If I'm giving a full work week and I'm still having to give people wait periods, I can't work 100-hour week. Like, that's not possible for me. I could only work what I can work. Does that make sense? So that's part of self-care, because I've worked myself to the point of actually even compromising my own self, like my own mental health, which happened to me back last year in September, where I had to like disappear for a couple weeks. So I'm trying to avoid that. So that's why I have my non-negotiable, okay, I used to work 7 days a week, my 1 day off, okay? This can make you mentally exhausted. This, like I said, could affect your mental health. Number 8, so understanding that you are, so your self-worth. Know that you are valuable. Your mental well-being, your emotional well-being is just as important as those of your clients. Because if you're not in a good place, how then can you help other people, right? And understand that. Don't ever let anybody guilt you. If you are having a mental health issue, like a mental health crisis, or something like you're just not feeling it, or you're not feeling connected, don't let anyone manipulate you into reading them when you know that you shouldn't be doing it. Like, in your person, like, I don't feel like I can help somebody. You know what I mean? So understand that, okay? So that correlates to knowing your worth. So charging something that you feel is fair, but it's also worth. Don't undercharge to the point where you're making no money just because you feel bad or someone is trying to guilt you, right? There's different readers at different price points. I don't allow people to guilt me. I know what I'm worth, and I charge according to that. So always know your worth, okay? Don't let someone else dictate to you what they think you're worth. You know what you're worth, go for it. Number 10, talk further. That's a note to myself, sorry. Okay. So basically, the last point is starting out with the point of this video, which is a note that I made for myself to talk further about why I made this video. Again, it's because of this person literally reading people, okay, and channeling things they shouldn't be channeling, okay, and they're just in a very bad place. Also, there's mental health issues with this person that I've told many times, like, why did you stop taking your psych meds? Oh, because I'm doing crystals now, I'm drinking herbs and all this. And not only do they have a negative spirit attached to them, their mental health is in a dire situation. And it's just sad because they're listening to like somebody else who was guiding them, which I kept saying, like, be careful. I'm not saying I should be your only reader, but be careful and take things with a grain of salt. Because as a professional reader, you telling someone to get off their meds and stuff, you're actually responsible for the things that are happening to that person, because you're overstepping your boundary and what you can or what you actually have experience in, or what you can actually, like, you're stepping out of your field because you're not a doctor, you're not a psychiatrist. So how are you giving psychiatric advice to somebody when you yourself are not a psychiatrist? Unless you're a reader and you actually are a psychiatrist, that's different. But if you're not, if you didn't go to medical school, you have no business telling somebody get off your psych meds. It's because of past life and herbs and this and that and the other, when someone is not in a good mental state. You are taking advantage of a vulnerable person, okay? And that's wrong. Another thing too, that the issue that I've had with other readers and stuff, is the fact that they don't think they have to pay for services. I'm a reader, you're a reader, and you have to pay like everybody else. Like, I gotta pay my bills. Like, that's just because you're a reader don't mean I need to work for free. So, you know, that's another reason why I was talking about earlier, knowing your worth. Don't let somebody manipulate you. Oh, I'm a reader too, I do this, I create content, I have a website, blah blah blah, free stuff, free stuff, free stuff. No, because when you try to manipulate someone for free services knowing they have a business, that's going to come back to you. You reap what you sow. So in the same way you're not valuing my services, someone's going to disvalue yours. Maybe that's where you're stuck and you're not growing, right? It's important to value each other. It's important to value ourselves. And it's important to ask these questions when you're trying to go into your own business. Sorry for all the background noise, but this is life. It was the only time I could record this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, shamanic@workpriestess.com, shamanic@workpriestess.com. Much love, much light, much blessings. And until the next video, guys. Bye.